Labing anak kayo dito. Pilipinas, so may wala nga flag dito.
Well, I'm running upstairs. I picture. You and the girl yelling at
This is light, mga big picture dito. Nice. Amakan mo diha. Kato.
Thanks. Bag check.
Tayo na. Ano makibag.
Thank you.
We got it peppered evenly throughout. Looking to the right side or starboard of the boat, folks, this is where Fort Dearborn was located in 1803 to 1871. It was Dearborn on the red flag, on the Chicago flag, the Red Star. Those two reasons are its valiance and heroism in the massacre at Fort Dearborn, and the other reason is for its association with the attempted genocide of the Potawatomi bricks. Now behind, you'll see glowing in the Chicago sun, that is the Aon Center, originally Big Stand for Standard Oil, erected in 1973. Now, it was clad in Italian Carrera. You could say fiscally, that was a very rocky year. What was the 80? If you're gonna be a designer building, you gotta have a designer introduction. Now, those two international accolades for the building elevated her resume to bigger and better, taller things like this, the St. Regis Hotel and Towers by Jeannie Gang. 2020 it was completed. Just opened a delicious, well, I don't know if it's delicious, but the folks that presented the news this week, obesity, alternating current, serial murder, pathology, and the zipper. All of those were debuted at the World's Fair in 1893. All right, now that's we've talked about Fort Dearborn, and we've talked about one World's Fair. There's 4 red stars on the Chicago flag: the fort, the fire, the fair, and the other fair. You can see the Chicago flag there just to the left of the white state Illinois flag. Looking to the starboard side, you'll see it's not designed to sway. But folks, it's not static. Static steel is broken steel. So this is around the building. This is just a legend, and let me tell you where it started. Michael Ahern was a newspaper salesman, and he came up with his story to sell newspapers. His source was a Chicago police sergeant, and he said, "Hey, Sarge, what's with the deal with the fire?" The Sarge tells him, "It started at the O'Leary shed. That's all we know." So Michael Ahern goes, it's a way to take away accountability from the status quo of Chicago, and he said, "We don't need getting a little bit of rain." So if it wasn't Katie O'Leary, and it wasn't Billy Joel, who in fact started the fire? It was Chicago in the Midwest, where it was stricken with drought for 5 months. Unless this was Marty McFly with a TikTok challenge, this was a meteor shower. You know the fortune it costs to have handcrafted terracotta tile like that? But it was no problem for the Wrigley family because they'd made a Trump International Hotel and Towers. (2009) Skidmore, Owings and Merrill, Adrian Smith. Notice I said customer satisfaction and utility. If you approach Vandero and say, "I want my building adorned with Greek goddesses and geometric patterns," he'll say, "Find a new architect." That's not what I do. Durability, practicality. It's a good yes or no question. Did Bertrand Goldberg subscribe to the dark and angular modernism of his teacher? I see light color and I see curves. So we're gonna go with no. Buck, J.C. Penney, Aaron Montgomery Ward, these are pillars in catalog retail. When this building was sold for $600 million in the 1990s, we learned two things. A, marry a Kennedy, and two, it's not illegal if it's not a crime. Timeshares. There are no consumer protections for timeshares. Once the check clears, money's yours. Change the email address and move on. Merrill, 1962, 1966. You'll notice that Union Station is under both of these corporate rentals. That means if you get fired, you can just pretend like there was a train going by. That's not true because it's soundproof, vibra-proof, and smell-proofed. Folks, just one bridge down last year, I was taking a tour out and I was saying, yeah, I don't know for sure, but allegedly you can't feel or smell or hear the trains. And a woman was in her boat and she says, "I've worked in Gateway 2 for 7 years. I've never heard a train, felt a train, or smelled the exhaust of a train." If you put a 54-story building on a 13-meter foundation, are you gonna brag about it? You better. You better. The first Starbucks outside of Seattle, right here in Chicago. Another great photo, folks. That is primo CTA sun glistening skyscraper junk right there. The Great Lakes Building, 1912, Halliburton Route. You can learn more about it at boring.com. But this is the address where Abraham Lincoln was nominated to the candidacy for president for the Republican Party. Happened right there. Chicago's got more moving bridges than any other city in the United States. Now, Pittsburgh has more bridges. Chicago has more moving bridges. So it's a quality over quantity. You'll see this lovely lounging lawn, part of the Chicago River Walk. I recommend doing a walk in the evening and a walk in the daytime. Since you guys are doing a river cruise in the daytime, you can get away with just a walk tonight. But folks, these buildings spend a lot of money. Some of them spend a lot of money to take on a different personality at night. Let's take a look at 333 West Wacker. You'll recognize it from Ferris Bueller's Day Off and The Truman Show. Light green glass represents the main branch of the Chicago River. Its white clay base bounces light off, and so that's why you see it so much brighter. The North Branch is represented by the dark green glass, and the North Branch has a 333 West Wacker. These are called eyelashes. And they're to protect pedestrians from drip drops and things that may fall from the bridge. Timing belts, control arms, that kind of stuff. We have a 1.1 digital media projector that's the largest of its kind in the world. It's a fixed digital media projector. It displays 2 acres of art on the Mart every night at 9 and 9:30. Do you like seeing world record free things? Check out this spot at 9 or 9:30. It's at no cost to you. Of course, there is an audio aspect to it. You can see those speakers. This floating garden was not here in 2016. We added it, and by 2022, we went from 20 to 90 native species of fish. Who'd have thought that native plants would have made native fish so much more reproductive? We tried reinforced concrete for a century and a half with limited success. Bring the dog, bring the kids, splash around, grab an ice cream cone. You can even